Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So there's so much that has been going on since the news broke that Tory Lanez was stabbed in jail 14 times. Now, initially, there was a claim that Tory Lanez was stabbed in the yard. However, his father did clarify that Tory Lanez was actually stabbed, inside the prison, not out on the yard. So some more about the inmate who committed the offense. I'm getting this article from ABC7. So rapper Tory Lanez's alleged prison attacker is a man with previous conviction for assault on inmate. This is by Rob Hayes. So Los Angeles authorities said that Tuesday, a man who attacked rapper Tory Lanez in a California prison is an inmate. He's serving a life sentence for a second-degree murder who was previously convicted for an in-prison assault with a deadly weapon. Now, I have a problem with that because I just kind of feel like if Tory Lanez is not at the same level of offense as this inmate, that he should not be around him. Why is he just freely walking around like this after he has already committed, this type of offense? Shouldn't there be like more restrictions on this guy? Just a thought. Anyway, Lanez was in fair condition a day after the attack in a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Where he's serving a 10-year sentence for shooting hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion in the feet. Pedro Calderon Michael, spokesman for the State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, said in an email. Authorities did not specify how Lanez was attacked, but a message posted on the rapper's Instagram account Monday evening said that Lanez was stabbed 14 times and both his lungs collapsed. Representatives for Lanez said he was breathing on his own. Prison officials identified the alleged attacker as 42-year-old Santino Castillo. He has been put in restricted housing pending an investigation by the prison and the Kern County District Attorney's Office. Now, again, he's been, put in a restricted housing, but this should have been done when he committed the first offense, So I think they're talking about the inmate who committed the offense. Castillo has been in the facility since 2004 after he was sentenced to life with parole possible for convictions of second-degree murder and first-degree murder attempted murder. In 2008, he was sentenced to 6 more years for assault by a prisoner with a deadly weapon, and in 2018, he was sentenced to 2 more years for possession and manufacture of a deadly weapon by a prisoner. This is obviously not affecting him, but this is all that they keep doing every time, something like this happens. An email seeking comment sent to an attorney who previously represented Castillo was not immediately answered. The prison is about 100 miles north of LA in the mountains of the Mojave Desert and houses about 1,700 medium and maximum security inmates. In December 2022, Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Megan, whose legal name is Megan Pete, testified during the trial that in July 2020, after they left a party at Kylie Jenner's Hollywood Hills home, Lanez fired the gun at the back of her feet and shouted for her to dance as she walked away from an SUV in which they had been riding. She had bullet fragments in both feet that had to be surgically removed. It wasn't until months after the incident that she publicly identified Lanez as the person who had fired the gun. A judge rejected a motion for a new trial from Lanez's lawyers who are appealing his conviction. They had no immediate comment after the attack. On Wednesday, Lanez's legal team held a news conference in downtown LA saying Lanez was railroaded by then DA George Gaskin, who had just survived a recall election at that time. The legal team said a bodyguard for a friend of Megan has come forward saying that the friend had the gun and she fired it 3 times. Lanez then grabbed her arm and the gun went off 2 times after that, according to the legal team. Now, this story was never put out there by Lanez's original defense team, so I'm not sure how come this story has surfaced. It shouldn't take the bodyguard to say that he overheard this when Tory Lanez was witness to it. He should have said that. So Megan recently alleged that, Lanez was harassing her from prison through surrogates. And in January, a judge issued a protective order through 2030, ordering him to stop any such harassment or any other contact. The 32-year-old Canadian Lanez began releasing mixtapes in 2009 and saw a steady rise in the popularity, moving on to major label albums, 2 of which reached the top 10 on Billboard's charts. The Monday Instagram post on Lanez's status said he was talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. So a lot of different stories have circled the internet, some stating that this attack was race related and that because Tory Lanez was, being very supportive of, a lot of the Black community inside of the prison, that was the reason why this inmate launched his attack on Tory, because he was taking care of a lot of the people who were around him. But the jail has been on lockdown. And this rumor, people are trying to dispel that rumor because they want to prevent a race war from occurring, because they're saying that is not what happened. So apparently Tory Lanez and this inmate had some words, and Tory Lanez allegedly told this inmate, I will F your wife. And also, allegedly Tory had also been utilizing his money and his power that he had, related to being able to take care of different individuals there to get things done. Now, this is alleged. I don't know. I've just heard this from different sources. I don't really know. So did Tory just, write himself, a check that he couldn't cash? Is that what happened? And, some people are also stating that before this occurred, that, Megan's legal team received word that this is what Tory intended to do, that he intended to refute or dispute the allegations or the charges and try to, become free. So I don't know, was Tory talking big-ish? And, this is where it landed him. Is that what happened? Or, is this race related? So tell me what you think. Comment down below. Thank you for tuning in.